A very good morning to all my friends. Myself Amit from Plutus IAS, and let us start the Hindu analysis for 16th of September 2020. So friends, let us begin with the first section of ours, which is the thought of the day. So our thought today says that success will never lower standard. Okay, we have to accommodate ourselves and we have to raise our standards to achieve it. That indirectly means that success will not come to us. We have to go to the success. We have to choose the path that will lead us to success. We have to do that hard work. We have to raise our standards. We have to invest in ourselves. We have to improve our capabilities so that we can achieve the success. And success, friends, is not a destination. It's actually a journey. It's actually a journey. And in that journey, we improve ourselves. We work on ourselves. We raise our standards. We raise our standards. And that is all we have to do to achieve the success. Okay, so for achieving success in UPSC exam, you have to raise your standards in answer writing, in manners of answer writing, in analyzing what you are reading, why you are reading. Okay, and not only in UPSC, we have been talking about success in general life, where we need to improve ourselves, invest in ourselves, and that is the basic thing. Okay, so let's move on towards the next topic, friend, which is significance of the date. So let me make you aware that today we have been celebrating this International Ozone Day, which has been designated so by the United Nations General Assembly, and it was done after the 16th September was chosen after this decline in or this thinning of ozone layer. Okay, decline in the density of ozone in the stratosphere. You might all know that ozone, this hole is now healing. Okay, recently in April 2020, there was news that this ozone hole has healed to quite a good level. Okay, you might see in this figure that this is the troposphere and this is stratosphere, where this hole of ozone is visible. Okay, usually it is found in over Antarctica and this Arctic, and due to polar stratospheric clouds which have this polar jet stream. I think they have been very well explained in the class by our science faculty, so we need not to go into those details, and that is enough for you to know that today we are celebrating the International Ozone Day, and it is one such successful, the Montreal Protocol is one such successful agreement which shows that if the world governments, they put together their efforts, then success could be achieved in every game, in every sector, right? So if in Paris deal every party contributes in a fair and justifiable manner, then we can reduce the temperature we can limit the rising temperature of Earth, right? The 2 degrees centigrade goal can also be achieved. But the thing is that all parties should come together and work for it, as shown by this Montreal in this removing or in this eliminating of HFCs and CFCs. You know, HFCs and CFCs, the chlorofluorocarbon gases used in refrigerators, they have been phased out. They have been phased out of the use, and because of these phasing out agreements has led to the success of Montreal Protocol. So coming to the index, friend, what news we are going to see today. The first topic is the 50 lakh corona crisis. India has crossed the mark of 50 lakh in numbers of corona cases. Then the new bill proposed for the NCT, National Capital Territory of Delhi. Okay. Then there has been signs of life biomarkers on the planet Venus. Then Afghan peace talks have been going on, and the role of India has been discussed by US in our today's topic, role of India. Then the next one is about Telangana's opposition to amendment of Electricity Act of 2003. Okay, so we will discuss what they are being opposing to. Then Atar Tunnel, a tunnel in Himachal Pradesh connecting Rohtang to Leh, or you can say Himachal Pradesh to Leh through Rohtang Pass. Okay, so it is very important and crucial for the connectivity of army movement, especially in winter. We will talk about it. Then last one is the passing of essential commodities bill, which have been recent protest against which the protests have been going on in the state of Punjab, especially in Punjab. Moreover, many farmers are protesting against this bill. Okay, so let us start our story with the first topic of the day, which is India has surplus oxygen, says the central government. So India recently passed the 50 lakh mark and registered around 85,000 cases. Okay friends, 85,000 cases in a single day on the last day, okay, on Tuesday. So this COVID-19 tally has now crossed the 50 lakh mark and total cases now stand at 50 lakh 12,736. So we see that the number of days we have took last to increase the last million is just 11. The first million was added after 169 days, but the last million cases have been added in just 11 days. And see, we have the total death toll that India has faced is 82,000. You might remember that overall number of cases in China was around this 82 to 86,000. Some revision increased it to 86,000, but most of the figures showed that it was around 82,000. So the total number of cases that China showed to the world that they have were 82,000, and India has now crossed this 82,000 death toll, which is a very serious implication of this COVID-19 thing, because a lot of our co-citizens have lost their life because of a virus, and the things are going worse. They are not improving, rather they are going worse. We have 82,000 deaths and 85,000, almost 90,000 cases per day. It is increasing at this rate. So be safe, stay home, and do whatever possible to take the precautions against this COVID-19. Okay, we hope that you remain healthy. Then let us come to the statement of our Union Health Ministry. The Union Health Ministry has said that there is no shortage of oxygen. The figures has shown that around 6% of patients in India are on this oxygen support, and the death toll in India is around less than 2%. But we all know that India has a population of just 130 crores, almost 130 crores. So even 1% is a significant amount, friends. Even 1%. So what we all need to understand that it is in our hands to protect ourselves. Though the government is doing their part, but we must also take our part, right? Our steps should be such that we can also contribute in this war against corona. Okay, so the ministry has said that we have enough amount of oxygen supply and we have been producing it in our own country, and we may not get under this scarcity problem. The ministry has said that they have guided the hospitals, they have cautioned the hospitals that they should have robust inventory management arrangements and encourage the rational use of oxygen in the hospitals so as to ensure that no artificial scarcity is being created, right? And only 2% of our total infected patients are on ICU bed. But do remember that we have less than 1 lakh ventilators. Less than 1 lakh ventilators. When the COVID came, some figures came, right? So we have less than 1 lakh ventilators. This figure is of April. I don't know about the recent manufacturing, but this figure is from April. So even we are not able to allot 1% of our population with ventilators and ICU beds. So we need to be worried, we need to be cautious. And the protection is very much required. Okay, we need to take precautions, friend. So that's enough. Let us move towards our next topic, friend. The next topic here is about the new bill of Delhi government, LG soon. So let me give you a certain background, some background related to this Delhi Union Territory in India. So you will find the article 238 and 239 in the Constitution of India related to Union Territories. So National Capital Territory, as the Delhi is called, is according to a law, according to amendment which was passed in 1991. It was 69th Amendment Act of 1991, which provided for the provisions of Union Territory of Delhi would have a legislative assembly. Okay, we all know that Delhi is having a legislative assembly and a particular government is there, Arvind Kejriwal government, right? Sorry. And this amendment was done to Article 239A, and Article 239AA was added or was inserted to the Constitution by the 69th Amendment Act, right? And as per this Amendment Act, the UT of Delhi was to be called as National Capital Territory of Delhi, and also the administrator of Delhi was to be called as LG. Okay, it is I think in Daman and Diu it is called as commissioner, and there are three names: administrator in other territories. Okay, so three such names are there, but in Delhi it is called as this lieutenant governor, as per this article 239. Okay, so and as per the according to this existing act, the legislative assembly of the Delhi has the power to make laws in all matters except in the matters of public, police and land. Public order, write these three if you want: public order, police and land. These three are the exceptions with the Delhi government, this elected Delhi government, they cannot make laws. So this the land though is not a very big problem, but public order and police have become a major problem in recent time, because a lot of, we have seen that Delhi riots have been there. Okay, the demand have been there for command of police by the Delhi government. Time and again they have been demanding that the police should be brought under the government of this state legislative assembly or UT legislative assembly, because the reason is that they are the elected government, so they are accountable to people, right? They are accountable to people in terms of this public order, but they do not have this power. So central government either should come ahead and give answers, or otherwise should transfer the power to state government. There should not be this political vendetta, the political agenda which is going on, that it's your responsibility, you are the state government, you are the central government, you hold this power. This kind of political vendetta should not go on. The shifting of responsibility they do, because people are suffering. Ultimately the people are suffering, the welfare of people is at the risk. So we welcome if there is any such amendment which can change this power scenario and can clearly demarcate that this is your territory, and for this you will be accountable in all matters, right? So Ministry of Home Affairs is likely to introduce a legislation in the ongoing parliament session to amend the article 1991A, and the major objective of this amendment seems to be increasing the discretionary power of this lieutenant governor. Currently he is Mr. Anil Baijal. So pertaining to the power and functions of Delhi government and LG. So this would be called as National Capital Territory of Delhi Amendment Bill 2020, and it is yet to get the cabinet's nod. Cabinet is actually the group of union ministers, hardly 10% of the cabinet the ministers, right, who have this very central authority which guides the overall scenario of the executive department, right? So according to source, actually the MHA has not provided what the provisions of bill are. So there has been source, according to a source, the bill consists of several amendments, like they want to increase the discretionary power of the LG. The new act, the LG could act on his discretion in any matter that is beyond the purview of powers of Assembly of Delhi. In matters, so this actually, there have been tussles, right? There have been tussles between this LG and Arvind Kejriwal government in Delhi. And what the tussles were, the control over the central government employees, especially related to this police, civil services and anti-corruption bureau. Okay, so the government in this bill wants to take away such matters from Delhi government entirely. They want that no such state body can take action on central government employees, whether under civil services or under anti-corruption bureau. Okay, and we all know that in Delhi we have this cadre of civil services mainly under AGMUT. So most of the services in Delhi are under central government, even the police. So the problem is that we have elected government in Delhi, and they haven't given the power, the required power to hold, to take the responsibility, right? It is the required power that the police should be there under the control of state government to tackle this problem of law and order, which is the very much responsibility of elected government, right? So, and also I want to tell you about one notification in 2015 which was passed by Ministry of Home Affairs, which said that the Delhi government had no power in the services related to matters, and the Anti-Corruption Bureau could not register cases against any employee, officer of the functionary of the central government. It says that central government employees cannot be taken or cannot be summoned under this ACB. right? No case can be registered against them. So the thing is that this power tussle is still going on, and we again come to that, it's back to square one, and so the solutions are still the same, that you can use the cooperative federalism, you can use the platform like interstate council under article 263, you can develop a consensus based decision, right? A consensus based decision, so that the Delhi government can fully take their responsibility, can fully handle their responsibility in a manner that is expected from elected government. Rather, the central government again and again showing that you have this responsibility, but you don't have this power. Okay, so this dual government system should not be there. Okay. So the thing is that the 2018 5-judge bench of Supreme Court has unanimously held that LG was bound. Okay, so this kind of tussle is going on and on. The 2008 Supreme Court bench of 5 judges said that the LG was bound by the aid and advice of Delhi government, and yet both have to work harmoniously with each other. But it has not happened. It has not happened, and this bill seems to be opposing this order. So let's see what happens, friend, and what which way the camel goes. So the next one is, the next article which we are going to consider is, yesterday I told you about the finding of phosphine gas on the planet Venus. So Venus is quite a hot planet which is very near to Earth, and in recent years, in past few decades, the space race for Venus, or you can say the space race, has not focused enough on the planet Venus, which is quite close to Earth. Okay. Mercury, this is Sun, then Mercury, then Venus, then Earth. So this, and then Mars. So we are quite focused on the Mars, we are quite focused on Moon, but our focus on Venus has been kind of shifted. Okay. So now with the finding of phosphine gas by this Cardiff University has again brought this Venus to focus, and especially the life, if possible, on Venus. Several characteristics of Venus are that it has around above 460 degrees of centigrade of temperature, okay, and very heavy atmosphere of carbon dioxide. So this makes it quite difficult planet. Okay, this high temperature can even melt the lead in the daytime, because such high temperature the daytime is found on Venus. And also it's the climate, this atmosphere of Venus consists of sulfuric acid, which is quite corrosive. Okay, so this prevents our exploration, this hinders our exploration of the planet by our various projects or missions. But both the NASA and ISRO are planning to launch a project. NASA may be launching it next year, while ISRO is looking for 2023 right now. Okay, so coming back to this Venus and describing what we have found. So Venus is called Earth's sister planet because it is quite similar to size on Earth, and it is considered hostile to life. Okay. So there was a mission in 2011 by European Space Agency called Venus Express, and this Venus Express finds signs of ozone in the outer atmosphere of Venus. Okay, in the upper atmosphere of Venus. So this was the last sign of life which we had in 2011, and recently the Cardiff University has been doing research. Mr. Jane S. Greaves. So he found in 2017 some signs of this phosphine gas, and using this particular Maxwell telescope of Hawaii, and then later again these phosphine gas traces were confirmed around, I think, 20 parts per billion. Yes, 20 parts per billion is the estimated presence of phosphine gas in the atmosphere of Venus. So he confirmed this gas presence in this Atacama Millimeter Array facility in Chile in 2019. And then now what the phosphine means, what this finding of phosphine means. So the present discovery of the traces of phosphine means that it is another biomarker after this ozone, and it shows us some signs of extraterrestrial life, because phosphine is a compound of phosphorus which is present in atmosphere probably due to the release by microorganisms. Okay, it is probably because of the microorganism present in this on this planet of Venus, right? So the exploration which is now to be conducted because of this surface temperature, then presence of sulfuric acid. The new ways they have suggested is that we can fly at a height using like orbiter like missions, and then can send the drones or balloons from that height, which could become a more feasible option than landing, to explore Venus more, to find those microbial life if possible. Okay, and also this could provide us, because this Venus has very large amount of CO2 in the atmosphere, and the presence of high density CO2 leads to destruction of phosphine, even if it is present, destruction of phosphine. So finding presence of phosphine is quite a good case then. Okay, it's quite a good case then, because it is kind of extraordinary chemical situation, which shows that even shows that there could be stubborn life and biology present on the planet Venus. And this has been published in this Nature Astronomy name magazine. So I think that's enough for this topic. Let's move ahead for the next topic of the day, which is US has commended, or you can say US has commended the India's contribution or India's role in Afghan peace process. So if you know something about this India-Afghan relation which has been going on, we have developed this friendship dam in Iran, in Afghan. Then we have developed the parliamentary building. We have been training their forces for years now, so that they can develop their own security forces and fight against terrorism. So training their forces. Then we have been developing the people to people. We have very good people to people contact in Afghan, especially with the cultural links created by this Bollywood industry, which is quite famous in Afghanistan, right? So the thing is, we have very good relations with Afghanistan, and we have provided them with very large number of friendship facilities. We have provided them with infrastructure, we have provided them with cultural improvement, we have provided them with fight against terrorism. Okay, we have provided them with connectivity. The special flight is being there from Kabul to this Delhi, especially for the purpose of air cargo. Okay, especially for the purpose of air cargo, because from this Baga border, this Pakistan again and again interferes. They often, the trucks of Afghanistan, they often get stuck on the borders of Pakistan, which reduces the trade of Afghanistan with India, or you can say halts the trade. Okay, so recently they were coming to Afghanistan. Recently there were talks of Afghan government with the Taliban and India. Our external affairs minister Mr. Jaishankar, he attended these talks by a virtual manner. Okay, he attended those summits. So it was kind of official recognition that Taliban is a partner from Indian side. It was a kind of official recognition that Taliban is a partner in Afghan peace process. Now the interest of US is to withdraw their troops. Okay, interest of India is to maintain peace and stability in the region and gain access to the Central Asian and other northern countries. Okay, using that INSTC route. So the Afghanistan could be the gateway of India, and also it can act as counter Pakistan for India. Okay. But the problem here lies that every major country wants to become the leader, wants to show that they are the leader for this peace process. Russia is ready, China is ready, US is ready, Iran is ready, everyone in the region is ready. And there are more than 7 to 8 countries which are involved in this peace process, right? But the thing that is in favor of India is they have good relations with Afghanistan. They have worked very well, especially on the ground level, which even the large pocket countries are not able to do. Even China, Russia or US haven't been able to do this. Okay. So they have, the US has commended or welcomed the India's role in Afghan peace process, and India has been doing it. Because India wants peace and stability, and also both the US and India wants that a proper government, a proper democratic government could be established in Afghanistan, so that their soil could not be used. They could have a proper agreement, political roadmap and comprehensive and permanent ceasefire, so that the territory must not be used by any terrorist groups. Okay, we all know that a large number of terrorist groups are present in Afghanistan. Oh, you name it, ISIS, Al-Qaeda, Taliban, you name it, and almost all. And one big reason is the Pakistan. One big reason is Pakistan. Often it is seen, even Pakistan is facing problem with this. Okay, often it is seen that those terrorists who have this place in Pakistan, living in Pakistan, whenever the government is anti to them, they fly away, they escape to Afghanistan. And Afghanistan is kind of very heaven territory for them, because the rule of law is not there still. Okay, still the rule of law is not there. So I've told you what India wants from this, what role India has played, and what overall scenario of Afghanistan for India is. I think that's enough for the topic. Then let us move towards the next topic of the day, friends, which is the Telangana government is being opposing the Electricity Amendment Act. So what the Electricity Amendment Act? So Electricity Act was passed by the central government in 2003. Friends, let me be very clear that the electricity is a state subject. And this amendment has been cited by the state governments that it is against the spirit of this cooperative federalism. It is having a centralizing tendency which would give the control of energy sector from state to central government. So it has been opposed by various state governments, especially the Telangana government, against the centralizing of powers. Right? It may be harmful for the interest of people, farmers and underprivileged sections in society, says the Telangana government, and says that the bill is dictatorial in nature. Okay, so what are some provisions? The bill provides for sub-licensing to the distributors. So these, what we call them, the agencies, okay, the discoms, sorry, the word is discoms. So they are state distributing agencies of electricity. So they can sub-license it to other. So this would increase the privatization. The state government of Telangana is saying that this sub-licensing, the first is sub-licensing. The sub-licensing would increase the privatization. In this, the private companies would find the backdoor entry in the distribution scenario of the power. Okay, so the thing is that it will take away the power from state government with time. Let me tell you how. So, and the second provision is that the meters would be fixed for every connection, including more than 25 lakh pump set of farmers. So I told you the state government, there has been a Raitu Bandhu scheme, and there are many other schemes by state government of Telangana and central government for the purpose of providing subsidy to farmers, especially related to irrigation and electricity. So we all know that there have been demands for the separation of this meters for this irrigation and household consumption in agriculture or rural areas. So the second provision is about setting up of meters in every household. But the Telangana government is against it because the 25 lakh farmers who use, the 25 lakh pump sets of farmers will also come under this category, which would lead to phasing out of subsidy provided to them for the purpose of irrigation. So this should be kept in mind. They say that this should be kept in mind and this should be addressed. And yes, the problem should be addressed. It could be done on a consensus basis. Okay, it could be done on the basis of consensus between both the governments. Then the third thing is the regulatory commission. The regulatory commission, which has been proposed by this amendment, the regulatory commission would be central commission, would be set up at the central level. So this would have a central control, right or not? So this is going to take away the powers which the state government needs for the purpose of welfare of their people, so as to provide them with subsidy, to cut some charges. Okay, so the consumers and farmers, especially the farmers, they are going to see the burn. Then fourth thing is about new act provides for open access, or if you have heard about this open access, okay, it is actually related to this the power purchasing in an open manner. So industries, they might go for open power purchasing agreements. Okay, they will not purchase from discoms then. They will not purchase from the discoms. And the problem here arises that yes, it is good if they are going to procure power or from open market, but the problem is of cross subsidization. You might have heard about the cross subsidization, which is a big burden on this discom. Okay, For DISCOM, they are state distribution companies for electricity under the state government, and they have quite good loans on them, debt on them. And recently Uday scheme was launched by Government of India to ease down the loans of DISCOM so that they could be transferred to some other agency, right? So, and a large number of AT&T losses, this transmission losses are there in the country. Okay, if you see this power sector, if you search on Google about problems of power sector in India, then you will find that there are many problems from which DISCOMs are suffering right now. Okay, but the thing is that the problem of suffering is because of their social objective which they are provided with by the state government, like this cross subsidization. It is under this cross subsidization, what the government do, they charge heavily from the industries and others and then subsidize it. Then this charge is used for subsidization of power for the consumers, the citizens, right? The household consumption. So this is a kind of cost subsidization which the burden increases on industry. You might have seen that the industrial units have per unit charge, extra per unit charge. They have to pay extra, right? While household charges on the basis of per unit per kilowatt hour is quite lesser, right? So the thing is, this kind of cross subsidization would go out and state will have to find other ways to subsidize the consumers, the household consumers, okay, the residential ones. So providing subsidy that the government is providing, the state government is providing, the burden will increase. Overall burden in providing subsidies to the household consumers, to the farmers who having these pump sets, okay, would increase, and this is after they will lose the control of energy sector. So kind of you can see, yes, given their very objective points here, against this amendment, it seems that the central government move is in haste, and it should be on the basis of consensus in the spirit of cooperative federalism. Then the next topic, friend, which is actually these are two very small topics. One is the prelims related topic, this Atar Tunnel. So this tunnel has been developed by BRO and it is soon to be opened, and it will provide or ensure all-weather connectivity to Leh. All-weather connectivity to Leh. It is the capital of Ladakh, the Union Territory of Ladakh. So it will help army in advanced stages of winter stocking of ration, clothing, large number of troops movement, okay, at the height of just 14,000 in Ladakh. So this will connect the Himachal Pradesh with the Ladakh region through Rohtang Pass. Till now we have the connectivity of Ladakh through this Srinagar, okay, and which is a very this route is at very high altitude, and it gets blocked during the winter season. The snowfall blocks this. So this tunnel route will provide an all-weather access for both the armies and the citizens to Leh. Okay, so this would improve our movement towards Leh, and this tunnel is a kind of very good step taken by the government. Coming to this topic, last one of our today's, that the Essential Commodities Amendment Bill has been passed by the Parliament, right? It has been passed in the Lok Sabha, not Parliament. It has been passed in the lower house of the Parliament, and this bill was kind of opposed recently. It was among the one of the three ordinances which the government has put for voting in the recent session. And what this bill was proposing, the bill was proposing the ultimate production, storage, movement and sale of several foodstuffs, including cereal, pulses, edible oil and onion, except in the case of extraordinary circumstances. So it is kind of going to regulate the storage, the movement, the sale of foodstuffs, especially in the extraordinary circumstances, like the large scale price fluctuations is there, the problem like this pandemic is there, large scale hunger because of the lockdown is there. So in these kind of extraordinary circumstances, the government can regulate all these activities related to foodstuff under this Essential Commodities Act. Thousands of farmers have been protesting in Punjab, especially in Punjab, against this bill. And the bill, actually it was an ordinance which has been put to vote recently, and this bill stocks, it limits the stock that can only be imposed, or these limits which are under the bill can only be imposed if the retail prices surge 50% above the average price in case of non-perishable or 100% in case of perishable. So it only will come into play when the average price, the price rise is 50% above than the average price, 50% above the average price. So the move seems good of the government, but the farmers are protesting because they feel that such regulation would reduce the remuneration they are getting for their crop, right? They would reduce the remuneration they are getting for their crop and would make the sector of agriculture, farming further unattractive, right? Because the compensation will reduce, na? The remuneration they can get for their crop with rising price would get reduced. But the black marketing and hoarding is a problem in India, friends. So these kind of acts, these kinds of bills are necessary. These kind of bills are necessary. So a balance is required. And with this, I would like to say thank you, friend. I hope I have contributed well to your knowledge. And I hope, thank you and have a nice day.